Thanks to everyone who have subscribed. If you have not, please do. And thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate you. Lockdown extension. At last, Buhari decides to speak. For the third time in 6 weeks since the outbreak of coronavirus pandemic in Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari will on Monday address Nigerians on the administrative present efforts and further plans to curbing the dreaded disease. The president had, on March 30th, 2020, announced an initial 2 weeks lockdown of Federal Capital Territory Lagos, Ogun State, following which he directed further lockdown on the affected states and the FCT by another 2 weeks, expected to end today. But Ogun State government pleaded with the federal government and delayed the lockdown takeoff by 1 week on account of non-preparation by the residents. And across the 36 states of the Federation, governors came up with varying measures, including lockdown and curfews, to ensure some level of social distancing and movement restriction of residents. Although both the lockdown and curfew were targeted at preventing the spread of COVID-19. This, however, has not achieved the desired results as the cases continue to rise on a daily basis. Don't worry, it will go down. Relax, it will go down. The blueprint received prior to the first lockdown announced by the president, the number of cases stood at 131 cases, 8 discharged, while 2 dead. And at April 13, 2020, when the president directed an extension, there were 343 cases with 10 dead and 91 discharged. As the nation awaits Mr. President broadcast for an update, the figure have automatically shot up to 1,182 cases, 222 discharged, and 35 dead, thus prompting the desirable or otherwise reason for further lockdown extension. But residents spoke to our reporters ahead of the presidential speech with some incisions on further extension, while others wanted modified formations. While some said the lockdown should be extended in view of the rising cases, others says for a modified lockdown that will affect citizens and will give them the opportunity to engage in buying and selling to make ends meet. In the view of Mr. Salama, a resident of the Federal Capital Territory, the government should take a hard look at the palliative and the distribution of palliative at the lockdown if any extension will be made. 2 lockdowns for 28 days and people cannot continue to do their business. The government say they are giving palliative. This palliative is a fraud. The idea of saying these with less than 5,000 naira in the account as well as telephone subscription loading less than 100 is bad. Whoever must have come up with this does not wish Nigerians well at all. So they are saying we should be as the poor before getting palliative from government, especially at the lockdown period. The lockdown period is a period where everybody is home. If you have 5,000 naira, can you survive it for a week? How much more? It's been 28 days now. They should think hard and long on what they have decided. At last, Nigerians are speaking, saying there was need. Some are of the opinion that there is need for the lockdown. Others are saying it's not necessary because some people, Nigerians are already living below the poverty line, and some people go about their daily activity. As they go about their daily activity, that's how they make ends meet. Some is day to day. So how do you identify those people who truly need this relief? How do they survive? You don't know what has been going on with people. Can you believe one of the stories I heard? A landlord was telling a woman that he will sleep with her for 500 naira, not 5,000 naira, 500 naira, so that she can buy little things to feed her 3 children. This woman is a widow and she does day-to-day trading to be able to feed herself and her children. And of course, with the lockdown, things have been hard and she cannot take care of herself and the children. Even her capital has been eaten in the process. So she's looking for support. And guess what Mr. Landlord offered? He said, I will sleep with you for 500 naira. See the extent to which they have turned Nigerians to. What do you want the woman to do? There is no other alternative. When I heard of it, I said, God, how can I locate this woman? The person that was telling me about it also heard it from somebody. And you see, so the whole process of even getting to this woman kind of lost in transmission. But that's the reality of what people are going through. That's even the one you have heard. Remember that everything you are hearing on some things that are really happening is not everything you are hearing on media. It's not everything. You are hearing some, not everything. So you are hearing some on the media, not be everything you did hear. So my people, now the matter be that. So what do you think? What do you think? Do you think that a further lockdown is what the country need? I, for one, don't think so. Corona or no corona, people will still live life. Uh-huh. And then those that will die, and those that will live. But there is room for obedience to the government guidelines, healthcare guidelines, social distancing. If people can go about, if we can try with the social distancing, face mask, washing our hands regularly, you know, let people go back to their life. And with all this in mind, with all these measures in mind, it is better than locking people up and all that. It's very difficult. You don't know what people have been going through. Even the mental health alone of people had really been tested at this time. It's just that in Nigeria, we don't really take things or some things, we don't really check people's mental state of health. Just imagine a children or a child that has been in an abusive house, that the only place of rescue and rest that child has is going to school. That child has been locked in the same house now with the abuser for a month or over a month now. How do you expect that child to survive? Just imagine the head state and the trauma. That is just one. What about people, say a widow or a widower, who goes about their daily life to be able to, maintain or take care of their children, family, and loved ones? How do they survive in a time like this? How? Just tell me how. So there is a lot going on that is behind the scene that you don't know about. You're only hearing a part of it. You're not hearing of all of it. So for me, I feel the government guideline, social distancing, wearing of face mask, having your own hand sanitizer, things like that, and measures should be put in place. And people should be conscious. The reality of coronavirus people should hear about it so that people can prevent. By the time you will not want to intentionally get yourself infected. People will work with that consciousness. I'm telling you, rather than allowing Nigerians to suffer indefinitely. That's what I call it, suffering. So that's my opinion, that's my take. And I believe I'm entitled to my opinion. What's your opinion? What's your take? What do you really think? Because even with the social distancing and the rest, advanced countries that we're hearing, lockdown and everything, yes, there's still cases. So what happened to those cases? What's been happening? That's the reality and the truth of the matter. Those that will die, and those that will be alive. Because what the people that have died in Nigeria since the advent of coronavirus never even killed those number of people. I'm telling you the truth. So let's call a spade and be serious and focus on what should be. Anyway, my people, this is the matter of the hour. Do you think the lockdown should continue, or you think it's time to say let's pull the code? Let's put the code. Let's say no, and let's see what will happen. Anyway, that's the matter of the hour. Please be the reason for somebody to smile today. And don't forget to please like and share for us, subscribe, click on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. We are here to keep you up to date with all that is going on in Nigeria and around the world. You have a voice, please use it. Please support us by liking, sharing, subscribing, clicking on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. Don't forget, you can be the reason for someone to smile today. Please, can you assist somebody, your neighbor? Can you give somebody something and make them really happy? God bless you. Bye for now. Have a lovely and a wonderful